we'll start again that particular, okay, last class we have studied the methods of surface finish, and in that we have two categories: inspection by comparison and direct instrument measurement. So in the inspection by comparison methods, we have seen the visual inspection by the naked eye, the touch inspection, the scratch inspection. Because in this method, already I told you we have to use a softer material like lead or rabbit or plastic is rubbed over the surface to be inspected, and the microscopic inspection also we have seen, metallurgical microscope, or if we go for the composite materials and nanomaterials, we try to use the scanning electron microscope. And we have the surface photographs also, the magnified photographs of the surface. We have to take the photograph and illumination because we have to just know the irregularities in them. Then we have the micro interferometer also. Already I told you, you might have studied optical flat in already in second unit. That's also very important because whenever you are using an optical flat, it's placed on the surface to be inspected and it is to be illuminated by a monochromatic source of light. But also, and through the interference bands are formed on the surface, and you try to observe the interference bands through the microscope. Okay, so that is the thing. And the last one is the Wallace surface dynamometer. So it is also a sort of friction meter, you can say. Already I told you what is in the what you'll use in the Wallace surface dynamometer: pendulum. You use a pendulum in which we have the testing shoes. They're damped to the bearing surface, and you have to have a predetermined spring pressure. You have to use a predetermined spring pressure. You can use a coil spring rather than the leaf spring. And the pendulum is lifted to its initial starting position, and it is allowed to swing over the surface to be tested. Okay, that everything you have to know, because in simple harmonic motion also, you know, the pendulum T is equal to 2 pi root of L by some parameter, that you try to know the formulas. So you have to, here what you are doing, you are trying to use the time period. So if this surface is smooth, there will be less friction, and the pendulum will be swinging for longer period of time. That's why I told you the time period is very important. You try to use a stopwatch for noting that. And the particular time is a direct measurement of the surface texture. That's what, there's a revision of last class, because you have to know those who are joined only this class, not attended last class, will be not knowing what we have done. But already 7 minutes time, still 25 people have started. We are giving you 10 minutes time between the classes now. Why you are not able to adjust? Because still you have not adjusted. We don't know when the COVID-19 pandemic will end, and you have to accommodate. You have to accustom to this online class maybe all the semester. But then, still you are having 1 year time that you try to remember. Because don't be lazy. You have to work hard. So in this direct measuring instruments, they operate on the electrical integrating stylus. Already I tell you why it is integrating, because the stylus is made to move over the surface. So these instruments can be of two types. Already last class we just briefed about this one. One is the carrier moderating principle. How to create a carrier wave in the Wheatstone bridge. Already I told you we have to use an oscillator. The diagram is there. I'll try to come to that. The Tomlins in the particular Taylor, Hobson, Talisker, we have that. And we have two types. Both are important: Tomlinson surface meter and the Taylor, Hobson, Talisker. So in the second type, we have it's operating on the voltage generating principle. That's how we can say. You can give a classic example of a profilometer also. So that profilometer is a indicating and recording instrument used to measure roughness is microns. So that you just try to have that also. And where you have to just specify, because for a particular application, you have to choose a first type or second type. Suppose the second type, where do you use the profilometer? It's best suited for measuring surface finish of deep bores, where we have the particular deep bores means just you try to take a example of a cylinder bore of an automobile cylinder, in which there is a female component. The inside surface finish, you have to use naturally the profilometer. So that is the one. And in both of the types, there is the first type and the second type of instruments. The movement, so here in the second type, the movements of the stylus are caused to generate a voltage signal, because the movements are converted into voltage output. So that is there. And both of these types, you have to use an amplifier to amplify the movement of the stylus or the probe. So the amplified output, what you are doing, is made to operate a recording or an indicating instrument. So you have to have a indicating or display unit on the recorder. So we just try to see pen type recorder. We try to use in the Taylor Hobson Talisker. And in the Tomlinson surface meter, you have to use a smoked glass screen. The trace will be there on the smoked glass screen. Because previously, whenever a solar eclipse is there, you have to use, nowadays you're using the German filter glass, but previously they used to use the kerosene, whatever the lamps are there, they try to have the carbon soot formed on them, and they try to see the solar eclipse. Previously, when people are not taking care, some people might have lost the partial eyesight, and some people might have gone blind at the time. So that's very important. So the carrier modulating frequency type of instrument, it will be having an advantage, because the signal is fed directly to the recorder, and it only depends upon the position of the stylus. So we'll be seeing how we can control or regulate the position of the stylus. And for movement of the stylus along the surface, under the stylus, you have to have a skid. That in the ensuing topics also, before we have studied or before we have dealt with or discussed, but again, I'm repeating again and again, the features of the electrical integrating stylus important as far as short answers are concerned. Or if we try to elaborate the components one by one, the skid or the probe, the stylus or the probe and the skid, the amplifier, the indicator, and the recorder. So we'll be knowing new words in this particular class, like demodulator, the modulator. So what you have to have, how the waveform will be changing after it is passing through one stage to another. So that is also there. So in the voltage generative type, that is what I told you, we try to use that in the profilometer. So profilometer is nothing but, if you try to see a gramophone, previously I already told you, it is used in olden days for listening the sounds. So the principle of this instrument, profilometer, is similar to gramophone pickup. That we'll try to see when the diagram comes, or we'll just try to discuss specially later. So in this, the movement of the stylus, the oscillatory movement of the stylus stops now in the voltage generator type. The output falls to 0. That means, already I told you, this principle is used in the Wheatstone bridge also. So when the Wheatstone bridge is balanced, means there's either you're not applying that particular instrument to the smooth surface or a rough surface, or it is in a static state. And whenever you are trying to apply that instrument or the stylus or the probe or a surface you have machined, the bridge is unbalanced. So that is the principle you try to use in the current generative type of the instrument. And whenever the output falls to 0, no matter where the stylus be. So it depends, it not depends on the position of the stylus, the difference between the voltage generator type and the current generator type. So we have not, so we are not having in the syllabus the pneumatic instruments. Only if you, out of curiosity or the knowledge sake, if you want to discuss, we can discuss, but it's not there in the syllabus. Pneumatic type of instruments which are used for measuring surface finish. So in the stylus probe instruments, what we are having, so already I told you the skid or a shoe will be drawn over the surface, not by hand, because nowadays we are using for the synchronous motor drive or the motor drive, and the skid will be moving over the surface. Already I told you how the skid will be. It will be in the form of a crescent moon. The Giri antar kada skylo. After the Amavasya, slowly that moon will come in the form of a crescent. Adda Chandrakaran unta Telugulo anna. So that skid will, when it's moving over the surface, it follows its general contours. Because the surface may not be having the smooth, having the peaks and valleys, it will following the general contours and provides a datum for the measurement. So you have to have a reference, because without the skid, you cannot control the position of the stylus, or you cannot control the movement of the stylus. So in case a skid is not used and only a probe is used, the probe will trace the actual profile. But what will be happening? So there's a disadvantage also, but whenever we have that upward and downward movement of the stylus or probe, it will be depending upon the setting of the work under the probe. So whenever you are using, we're not using the skid, your machine, just like machine setting, the instrumentation setting for the skilled instrumentation, or you can say instrumentationist, like machinist, because we have the particular course previously, electronics and instrumentation, they used to follow this instrumentation part. That what we are studying in this particular semester. But here, since the roughness of the surface will not depend upon the position of the work, so you have to have that reference. So you have to have that datum or reference from which the measurement has to be taken. That's a precaution. Just like precautions in a particular experimental methods or the experimentation lab experiments, you have to take care of that particular precaution, so that the instrumentation setting is very important. Unless and until you are satisfied with the instrumentation setting, you should not go for the measurement. So whenever a line is touching the crest of the profile, crest and troughs, peaks and valleys, crest and troughs, we'll just try to discuss in the screw threads, in the 5th unit. It is if it is actional, the crest is the highest peak and trough is the deepest valley. And in the internal thread, it is vice versa. That we'll discuss in the fundamentals of screw. But here a line will be touching the crest of the profile. So this particular line is also called the envelope line. It will be defining the macro geometrical form. So already we have seen the macro and micro. Macro geometrical form will be just defining the waviness. Not much, but we are only concerned about this surface roughness instruments. Already I told you for waviness, it is you are using a waviness meter rather than this direct measuring instruments. And whenever you are trying to choose a skid, you have to choose a skid of such a side that it will be covering a large number of surface irregularities, you can say. The surface undulations, there's a keyword that is used there, and we have to see that also. So that is a keyword we have to use, and a lot of work, research work, or before introducing the concept of direct measuring instruments. So we are we used to have that particular thing as far as the development of the skid. What is the radius of the probe? What is the tip? What is the particular shape of the stylus at the tip, conical or spherical, and what is the force we have to use? That everything will be discussed in the features of the electrical integrating stylus instruments. So the force will be a product of the radius of the tip into some 5 grams or 10 grams like that. So just like torque is a function of force into radius, well, you are discussing the dynamometers. I don't know whether it's there in the instrumentation part. Previously, we used to conduct experiments regarding the lathe tool dynamometer, milling tool dynamometer, and the drilling tool dynamometer in the machine tool lab. AU syllabus is concerned. So here, the skid or the stylus or probe will be moving over the surface with the skid. So it will be moving along with the skid. So that is very important. The skid should not go in one direction, or the probe should not go in other direction. Already I told you. This also already we have discussed, but the last packing movement I just told you. Now we'll try to have that. So what is the radius of that particular stylus? 10 microns with tolerance of 30% we have. So whenever you are using the tip radius is allowed to vary plus or minus 50% only, 5 to 10 microns only. That is 0.005 mm to 10 microns, 0.010 mm. So micron you have to know. So and you have to calibrate the whatever components you are using in that direct measuring instruments time to time. And whenever you are using for calibration purposes, the stylus or probe should be a nominal size of 10 microns, and the tolerance you try to give plus or minus 20%. So calibration is very important. You should not give wider tolerance, larger tolerance. You can just try to compare the 10 microns plus or minus 30% to 10 microns plus or minus 20%. That whenever calibrating the tolerance value you try to give, you try to minimize. That is very important concept you try to use. So that stylus already I told you should be cone shaped with a spherical tip. Stylus or probe sometimes it will be having a diamond tip also, but it is very costly in lakhs of rupees we have, and that's why the particular stylus or probe we are using in the surface measuring instruments will be starting from 25,000 to 1 lakh or more than that one. So whenever you are using this particular stylus or probe or in the direct measuring instruments, they will be recording the micro geometrical form, small surface irregularities. That is just like roughness, and it will be moving vertically down relative to the skid moment. So that is very important. So this also we have discussed. Generally, the skid is moving up. The stylus also should be moving up. Already I told you they should be moving along together, not in either direction, not in opposite direction. But whenever here we are trying to specify the pitch also, because whatever pitch or particular, we'll try to discuss in screw threads and the gears also what is pitch, but here the pitch is nothing but the distance. So when it's comparing, you try to take only the half the wavelength of the surface, because here just like sound, whenever we are trying to define the primary texture or the roughness, this is of smaller wavelength, and whenever we are trying to specify the waviness, that is the secondary texture, is of larger wavelength. That's why the wavelength lambda will come into picture, and the distance, the pitch, skid stylus, you have to maintain. That's very important. And record will not be a desirable one. So you just try to, by trial and error method or with the changing of the position of the stylus, skid and stylus position, you have to just like machine setting already I told you, this particular instrumentation setting is also very important. You try to see that in the figure the skid and stylus are there. The skid and stylus are there. Then this is a pickup for the skid, and the skid is moving up, and while the stylus is going in the downward indication. So just for we are not going for correct instrumentation setting, the particular the stylus of the probe and the skid will be moving in the opposite directions. That's not advisable. So you should see that they move together. So here in the amplifying device, so why we have to have an amplifier or amplifying device? You have to amplify the movements of the stylus. You have to magnify or amplify the movement of the stylus so that the indicator or the display unit will try to catch that or try to perceive that particular movements. That's very important. So here, when we try to have the amplifier, then we have the recorder type. So we have to have the recorder type. So the recorder is a particular device. It will trace a record of the surface profile. So the here in the recording device, whenever in the test type stylus probe instruments or the direct measurement instrument, because they are using the stylus of probe, that particular vertical movement is magnified more in comparison to the horizontal movement. That's why I already told you the vertical movement magnification is just 10,000. The horizontal movement will be half of that, or it will be less than that of the value. So the particular record, whenever you are not going for the correct instrumentation setting, it will not have the actual picture of the surface roughness. It will have a particular distorted trace. That's why you have to have an analyzer for that one. Already I told you what you mean by analyzer. In medical terms, just you try to take an example of the oximeter nowadays. It is analyzing the oxygen levels of a particular patient or a particular person, or just like we have the for sugar also and the BP. Those are that particular analyzers you can say for that particular parameter. So the analyzer or analyzing can be done separately by using some automatic device. So you try to use an automatic device because as the days are going by, the automation devices are coming into the market. So you can incorporate an automatic device in your particular direct measuring instruments. So just like digital, you can say digital world or the digital well-being, just like that, because we are going for more precision measurements, Because this particular whatever instruments we are specifying are mostly used in the throughout the world, and some just like profilometer is mostly common. It's commonly used in the United States of America because it's a direct measuring instrument, and this particular instrument is a dynamic instrument. Is in its principle as already I told you is directly using the principle of gramophone pickup. So here you just try to see that the diagram is not there. He has not specified a thought that Archegen is not because we have in the Mahajan, you have tried to see Kelnarayana or any standard book like A.C. Gupta. So just try to and afterwards this one. Okay, because okay, just try to theory is there, simple diagram is there. You have to have a what you'll be having. You'll be having a finely pointed stylus of probe will be there. Is mounted in the pickup unit, and this particular stylus of probe will be traversing across the surface. You're not using the hand movement. Already I told you manual. It is outdated now. You'll be using the synchronous motor drive, and this instrument will be recording the rectified output from the pickup. So because the particular stylus movements are small, it will be magnified by using an amplifier, and further this will be operating an indicating device. And then after indicating recorder, and after recorder analyzer. So that is a sequence you have to maintain. So this recording, the recorder will be recording the average height of the surface roughness. Already I told you should not take only one particular value in the metrology experimentation or experiments. You try to take at least a minimum of 10 to maximum of 20. So in this particular instrument, you can the roughness along with the waviness you can measure in any surface defects or flaws which are visible on the surface. You can just record, you can have that, you can record it. And this is the instrument which is obtained only when the pickup is moving. Only the pickup is moving, the gramophone pickup is moving, and whenever it is static, you cannot record it. And this instrument is already I told you before. This instrument is best suited for measuring surface finish of deep bores, cylinder bores, which are finished internally by the super finishing process like boning or lapping tools. That is very important, or internal grinding machines. So in this particular, whatever the pickup unit in this one, in the profilometer, it is consisting of, what is a pickup unit, you can ask. Nobody has asked. It will be consisting of an induction coil. It's not there. So it will be consisting of an induction coil, which will be located in the field of a permanent magnet. So whenever this particular tracer is moving over the surface to be tested, it will be displaced vertically. It will be displaced vertically up and down due to the surface irregularities. So this particular pickup or the tracer will be displaced vertically up and down due to the surface irregularities that are present on the machine surface. So what will be happening? Because this pickup unit will be having the induction coil, it will be moving in the field of a permanent magnet. That is there in the particular diagram, which is not shown here. So just try to see another textbook, or just try to show it at the end of the chapter. So this will be, because the induction coil will be moving in the field of a permanent magnet, it will be converting that into, the moments will be converting it into conversion. It will be converting it into the voltage form. So it will be using a voltage. That's why I already told you the profilometer is a voltage type of instrument, not the current type. Because in the direct measuring instrument, we have the voltage type and the current type. Both of them we'll discuss. So this is the particular. So what will be happening? This induced voltage will be amplified and then recorded by means of a recorder. That's how you try to measure the surface irregularities by profilometer. You can expand this by referring standard textbooks, the profilometer, because you may ask any one of the three: profilometer, Tomlinson surface meter, and the Taylor-Hobson talisman. So what will be happening? So just try to see the construction and working principle of this particular Tomlinson surface meter. It was named after by that particular instrument, by that person who has devised or designed this particular instrument, Dr. Tomlinson. That's why it's named. And this is like comparator. This is like mechanical and optical comparator. It is instrument is using both types of magnification, mechanical and optical. So we'll be discussing that also here. So we are having the diamond stylus here. That's the diamond stylus here. This one on the surface finish recorder. So it is held by spring pressure. So it's held by, just try to see the diagram. So it's held by spring pressure against the surface of a lapped steel cylinder. This is a lapped steel cylinder. Actually, you have to draw this diagram beneath this one, just like engineering graphics, because this is another view of this particular diagram here shown simply. So this is a fixed roller and this is a lapped steel cylinder. Here shown in this particular view like this one. So this particular diamond stylus will be held by a spring pressure. Here it is a coil spring against the surface of a lapped steel cylinder. This one. And this particular stylus is also attached to the body of the instrument. This is the body of the instrument. So it is attached to the body of an instrument by a leaf spring. And the height of the leaf spring is adjustable so that we can Just adjust the position of the diamond stylus conveniently. Just position of the diamond stylus conveniently. So that is very important as far as the how you place. So here in this particular instrument, we have two types. One is the coil spring and one is the leaf spring. So the lap steel cylinder here will be supported on one side by the stylus. This is the stylus, okay, a probe, and on other side by two fixed rollers. We have one here at the top and one here. So this is a spring steel arm. You have to specify the material also. In some of the textbooks, it is not mentioned. So as far as the arm is concerned, it should be of spring steel. Spring steel. So whatever motions you have to restrain, you have to specify. The stylus is, or probe is restrained from all motions except the vertical one. So only the vertical movement will be there. So how you are trying to restrain? Simply you cannot do magic. So you have to restrain the all other movements except the vertical one by the tensions. You have the tensions in the coil and the leaf spring. In the leaf spring. So whenever you have studied in the strength of materials, MOS, mechanics of solids 2, or the design of coil springs, you'll be knowing that particular deflections or any other formula or the tensile forces. So you have to just regulate or restrict the movement of the stylus or the probe in all other directions except the vertical one, vertical sense or vertical direction, by the tensions in the coil and the leaf spring. So you have to practice this diagram. And this is a smoked glass screen. This is a smoked glass screen he has shown. He has drawn both these views. In the examination, it depends upon the marks, but you try to, if you are drawing this, the examiner thinks you are well versed as far as fundamentals are concerned. So this the lap steel cylinder is shown just like this one, and these are the two fixed rollers. These are the two fixed rollers, and the lap steel cylinder position will be in between the stylus or the probe and the two fixed rollers. So this is a spring steel arm. This is the body of the instrument. So this is the horizontal motion of the body. And this is a vertical movement of the stylus will be due to the waviness on the machine surface. You try to employ, or this is the particular machine surface or the test surface. You want to measure the surface irregularities, and this is a diamond probe with the conical tip or the spherical. What we have mentioned here. What are the types of tips you can have as far as the probe or the stylus are concerned. So that's why already I told you the features you have to mention. What is the function of the stylus? What is the skid? What is the amplifier? What is the indicator device? What is the recorder device? And everything. And what is the analyzer? And the features of the electrical integrating stylus instruments. Or you can say if you are not able to every time pronounce that electrical integrating stylus instrument, simply what is the other name for this? Electronic stylus instrument. Electronic stylus instrument. Because by just referring most of the books like R.K. Jain or I.C. Gupta or like K.L. Narani, you can just know the other name for that one. So here the already I told you the stylus how it is restrained from all other motions except the vertical one by the tensions in the coil and leaf spring. And this tension in this, the tensile forces in these two springs also will keep this particular lapped steel cylinder in the particular position between the stylus and the fixed rollers, a pair of fixed rollers. So that's also very important function as far as the tensile forces are concerned in this the coil spring and the leaf spring. And we have a light spring steel arm which is attached to the horizontal lap steel cylinder. Horizontal lap steel cylinder. This is the horizontal lap steel cylinder. Why I am telling lap steel cylinder? You can sense You don't use only that steel material. You are using you are going for the finishing of that also by means of the lapping process. By means of the lapping process. That's why you are specifying it as lapped steel cylinder. And it will be carrying at its tip a diamond scriber. This is a diamond scriber, just like a scriber. So it will be just touching or against a smoked glass screen. Whenever the movements of the stylus will be there on the test specimen of a particular roughness height, because you are going to measure the average roughness height, no? So you can have the trace of this particular movements or the particular roughness value or the waviness value. We can say, because sometimes the waviness will be dominating the roughness, but sometimes depending upon the surface you have to test the only the micro geometrical irregularities for the primary texture like roughness you try to measure on this particular trace on the smoked glass screen. It is known as screen. It is not there, but you can have that because just like a screen of a particular profile projector. So you try to have that trace. You try to just copy the trace on a particular paper and then try to measure the surface irregularities. So when trying to measure this particular surface finish, what you are doing, a body is traversed across the screw by means of a screw rotated by a synchronous motor. You are not going for the manual movement. Already I told you. So any vertical movement of the stylus will be caused by the surface irregularities here on this specimen that I am showing by this particular cursor. And here, what will be happening whenever we are having the vertical movement will be caused by the surface irregularities, no? It will be causing the horizontal lap cylinder, it will be rolling. So by its rolling action, because the arm is attached to the lap steel cylinder, no? The light arm, the spring steel arm, which is attached to end, will be providing a magnified moment on the smoked glass screen or plate. So this vertical moment, whenever you are having in combination with the horizontal movement, already I told you the horizontal movement will be having some trace, just like we are defining the vertical magnification will be more than the horizontal magnification. So suppose the vertical magnification is 100x or x100, already I told you it will be half. It is x50, the horizontal one. That's why here in this particular instrument, in the principle of working, you are specifying both the mechanical movement and the optical movement. So that is very important. And this will be having, because mostly you will not be having in the no magnification in the horizontal direction, but whenever you try to specify that particular specifications, you have to say that you have to have a specific value of x50 or x100 as far as the vertical magnification is concerned. Horizontal magnification you can neglect, or you can say I might have told you it is half, but you can neglect that. It may be 0 because you are not having the vertical movements, and because you're not having the horizontal movements, and that's why the magnification is no magnification will be there in the horizontal direction. So we are taking time because it's a very important topic. It may be given for 7 marks or 8 marks, depends. That's why I'm going slow. We will try to discuss only the fundamentals here and try to continue with the Taylor, Hobson, Kalisov tomorrow. And whatever topics are left behind, I'll see the syllabus and try to complete it. The theory part tomorrow itself, the 4th period, and we'll try to go for the problems in Saturday's first hour. We try to attend because the JNTU cannot say, we cannot give guarantee that they will not ask the problems. So try to come with a calculator for Saturday's class. So here, this instrument is comparatively cheap when we try to compare this with the Taylor Hobson Talisurf. And this is a electronic instrument. Already I told you, instead of telling electrical integrating stylus instruments, you can say electronic stylus instruments or electronic stylus instruments, and how the carrier wave is generated. All that we'll try to see in next class, but you just try to have the figure, try to fill the figure or the sketch here. And here you have a E-shaped stamping, which are having two coils at either end of the legs, and this is the central leg. Will be touching the armature. So this is the principle of the current generative type, and here it will be having a E-shaped stamping. This already I told you. It will be having the two outer legs, or you can say the outer pole pieces which are carrying the coils, and this coils will be carrying an AC current, alternate current, not DC. So the armature is pivoted about the central leg. Okay, this is the central leg. So any movement of the stylus will causes an air gap, will be causing an air gap, and this will be varying the amplitude of the particular alternate current in the two coils. So that we'll try to discuss. You just try to see the figure now. This is an oscillator which is supplying the carrier wave to the Wheatstone bridge circuit. And already I told you, this is a carrier waveform. And after the output of this will be amplified, because its small movements will be amplified by an amplifier. And the output of amplifier will be having a modulator in between. It's not shown, so it will be the output of the amplifier will be having a modulated carrier waveform. You can just observe the difference between the carrier waveform and the modulator carrier waveform. And what is the role of the demodulator? It is to smoothen the waveform. It is to smoothen the waveform. Smoothen the waveform. The filtered waveform will be having that one. Okay, I think just again I have signed out. Okay, tomorrow we'll just